What's up, everybody? Welcome back to this episode of The Real Rescue, powered by Vertical Helicast. This is episode 166, part 1. Right now, let me take a quick shout out to our sponsor for this episode, Precision Aviation Group. Their precision is key for your performance. Check them out today at precisionaviationgroup.com. Now, coming up next in this part 1 episode, we are joined by a guy who is a rescue swimmer and a helicopter tactics instructor for the Portuguese Air Force. He comes on to tell us some of his rescue stories that he's had flying off the coast of Portugal. Please welcome our next guest, Mr. Ivo Pinto. My name is Jason Quinn. I am United States Coast Guard Rescue Swimmer number 500. These are my rescues and rescues from those of us that put our lives on the line every day so others may live. This is the Real Rescue Podcast. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Real Rescue. Today I've got a fellow rescue swimmer brother coming to us from Portugal. That's right. He is part of the Portuguese Air Force, is a rescue swimmer there. He's also the president of the EUROSA, the European Rescue Swimmer Association. Very excited about that because I was there when that happened. It was an eventful moment. I think a tear came from my eye. Maybe that was yours when you were like nominated, elected. Everybody stood up, saluted. It was
maybe a drop of sweat at the job I need to take over.
Yeah. Son of a sweat pouring off my face. Oh my gosh. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Ivo Pinto. What's up, my brother? How are you?
I'm good. Having fun. Portuguese weather is still decent. So to all
nice.
In the north parts that you're still freezing, yeah, it's nicely perfect 20-degree weather here and sunny today, thankfully.
Excellent. Sounds like it's time for me to make a trip up there and hang out with you. I'm just saying. I know. I'm trying. Okay.
Don't worry.
It's kind of funny, actually. Yeah.
When you come over, you got to make sure that you visit the Azores.
Oh, absolutely. Oh my gosh, without a doubt. Yeah. It's kind of funny, actually. I think about you from time to time because my wife went to Portugal with her mom, and you were the first person I called, and I was like, all right, here's what she's doing. Here's the plan. Is this cool? Is this good? And you were like, well, I do this, and this. And she totally derailed her plan to do what you recommended. I was like, that was my boy, dude. So she had a super good time, which is all that mattered. Yeah,
exactly.
Oh, I love it. All right, Ivo. Well, I'll tell you what, man. Bring us into it, dude. Let's get a little background about you. All right, so from Portugal, how did you become an Air Force rescue swimmer? How did all that happen?
Okay. I'm going to start dropping numbers now.
Oh, buddy, I can't wait.
Now, I joined the Air Force in 2000. I immigrated when I was younger to the UK. So I did my secondary education there. Then I came back. And I joined the Air Force as a comms corporal. And I had a really British accent. As I came over, I got into the Air Force comms. Then I got stationed in the NATO command. And when I got there, they put me in an office doing tech stuff with 7 other Americans, Navy, Air Force, and Army. So,
oh my gosh,
my British accent is done. They made sure that was done. I still remember my first time talking to one of the Americans that was seeing me through, and he goes like, "Oh, yo, dog," and I'm like, why are you calling me dog? I don't get it.
DAWG, come on, dog, my dog.
It's freaking awesome. He's an E9 now in the Navy. At the time, he was an E5, and he's freaking awesome.
That's great.
Stayed in NATO for a few years. Then I went to NCO school, and when I came back, I was in a tactical comms, and I got to work with fighter jets because I was a comms operator in a tactical air control party. So there's a
Oh
forward air
wow.
controller support him. Yeah, and I went to Afghanistan in 2008 for a quick tour. And when I came back, I've done the whole war thing. It's, been there, done that. And rescue swimmer school opened up some positions in the squadron, and like put my hand up. I want to go. I want to save people. A new challenge.
Nice.
So I became
Nice.
a rescue swimmer in 2010. Yeah, me and
Freaking
six other
awesome.
brothers.
Sweet, man. Sweet. Now, we're gonna have to give us a little more background on that, because I don't know what your training is incorporated, or what it
Okay.
entails. So, 10 years. You've been in the military for 10 years at that point.
Yep.
You go through school, so you're not super broken, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
Just a
And
just a
never
minor.
and it was yeah, I was 10 years in the military, but I was 27 when I got to rescue swimmer school. So I
Oh,
joined at
nice.
17.
Okay.
And
Okay. So then
yeah,
you might wake up with just a couple aches and pains. It takes you a minute to stretch out. You're like, okay, I'm ready. I'm ready now.
yeah.
All right. So,
Uh,
what does your training look like to be a rescue swimmer?
well, basically, we go through a whole lot of psychological testing before we get there. We get what do you call it? Psycho. It's not psychological. It's not psychotechnical testing. So they make sure we have the right faculties to become a rescue swimmer, and make sure that we have the
Nice.
right mindset. As you've seen in last RSM, we had one
Yep.
of our clinical psychologists that he told you what kind of elements they're looking for a rescue swimmer. And we have our entry medical tests. Basically, you get enough X-rays on your back to glow in the dark. Um,
Oh
and
my gosh.
then you do your PT test. So that PT tests and the medical training thins down the herd from like 70 people down to 20. Um,
Wow.
yeah, yeah, it thins the herd a lot. And then as we go through PT testing, they make sure that we have the entry levels just like you guys. And what that entails after is a lot of the accessory courses that you have to become a full rescue swimmer. You do it before you actually get they call it the 6 weeks water adaptation training, which
Okay. Is
yeah,
that your
yeah,
water confidence? They're gonna try
yeah,
to drown
exactly.
you.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think I think they tried to drown me in land.
yeah. Oh
No,
god. As Sam Fielder would say, it's flogging in the pool.
yeah, it just it just comes down to some of the stuff that we did, which is, for example, mornings on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we would run. We Our base is the at the end of a peninsula, so and the longest curve in Portugal is in the base, and it's the second largest curve in Europe. It's a 6 kilometer curve. You can see it
Oh
when you're
my
here.
god.
Yeah, so we run to the pool. We'll do an hour to an hour and a half training on the pool, and then we'll run back, and that's morning training. But
Oh my
it's
gosh. Nice.
that's morning training. Then afternoon, we after right after lunch, we start doing theoretical lessons to make sure that that psychological training goes through, and you're tired. And the first week it's kind of okay. Yeah, at the end, after lunch, you sit there and you're just going, you look
Yeah.
like a dummy. Yeah, here's the helicopter. I'm dying. I don't care. And you usually go for like a light jog, which most of it entailed uh, not knowing how far you're gonna run. So it would go like, guys, okay, we're doing 5Ks. Okay, 25Ks later, Okay. So you're just jogging. My course buddies would always say that, and my instructor was go like, whenever Ivo, his head's just doing like this running, he's just done. He's just following along. That man running.
There's no neck muscles left.
Yeah,
it's just rubber.
you look like
It's
one
like
of those.
bobblehead and like yeah.
Like, I need.
Oh my god, dude, that's so funny. Oh,
Yeah,
hilarious. Man, that's
yeah.
cool. I like that.
We'd have the other days. We would go. There's another peninsula which is 40 k's down south from here, and we would go. There's a big river and a naval station, so we spend there the whole day. And lunch, it'd be from 9 a.m. to around 5, and we would either be in the water or running or working out. And
Wow.
the intervals when we would rest would be to mess with the equipment. So it'd be on the naval station. There's like a port, and it would be one of the instructors with a rope, and us in the water, operating the litter, the rescue basket, operating our equipment. And like, okay, get up, okay, get fully geared again. Put your fins underneath your arm and run down the beach, then swim back. Okay, yeah, nice.
Wow.
Let's do a few push-ups. Okay, and then now we're running again and we're swimming back again.
Damn, man, that's awesome.
Yeah,
That's
it's
good
cool.
stuff. That's good
Yep.
training. I like that. Okay. Oh, out of curiosity, do you go through any medical training in your program?
We are unlike some of our European counterparts. Our medical training is very limited. We basically
Okay.
have basic life support. We have TC3, and
I don't know
we
what that
have.
means. I have no
Oh,
idea what TC3 is.
I, I have to get back
American
to that.
dude, American guy.
Yeah, I don't remember the acronym at the moment, but basically it's combat basic life support. So
Okay, cool.
the basic of the basic, because we have
Right on.
due to the way we operate, we work with a flight nurse on board. So it's all about getting the victim inside the helicopter as fast as possible, because since some of our rescues go up to 3.5 hours on the return,
Oh
uh,
my god.
yeah, our range
Wow.
our range 400 nautical miles, and we've had rescues at 370 nautical miles from land. Not me
Holy.
personally. In my squadron, we have, yeah, we do tech flight to extend our range. So we will shut down one of the engines when it's a mission that long. And it's a EH-101 Merlin and 3 engines, and you fly out. You switch off one of the engines. Well, when you're close there, you switch the engine back on. You one of those long range missions you usually have 20 minutes on site, and then you have to head back.
Wow. What a trip, man. I didn't even think of that. Like I've known C-130s to do that. They'll shut down 1 or 2 engines and then feather the
Yeah,
props. That's a C-130. That's not a helicopter.
no, but
And you
our
guys
helicopter,
just let's shut one down. That's
yeah,
freaking awesome. I actually didn't know it could do that. That's cool.
yeah. We I don't know if we're the only ones that do it. I know that we do it, and it basically, our search and rescue region is the second largest search and rescue region in the world. So in the Azores, which is the best thing you could have as an aircraft carrier, you still have a lot of 9 islands that we can land in. But since our water region is so large, it's the way we can save people a little bit further from our shores. We had
Gotcha.
yeah. You remember the rescue with the USPJs on
Yes,
yeah.
amazing story. Absolutely amazing. And I don't want to ruin that now because I would love for those guys to come on here and tell that story. I'll tell you what, we'll give a little piece of that. The short version is pararescues out of New York, fly halfway across the Atlantic, jump out of a perfectly good plane, stabilize some guys, and then get picked up by the Portuguese Air Force rescue swimmer. Amazing story. And that's all I'm telling you guys. That's it. That's it. The rest of those guys got to come on and tell that story because it is insane awesome. So anyway, right on. Is there any worry ever about like shutting the engine down as you're on that long way out and worry it won't start back up?
Oh, it's always a worry, but you when you switch it on again, the problem it would be if it doesn't switch on, you might not have the power to go into hover at the destination.
Right. Okay.
So
But you can still
that would
fly.
be the problem.
So right on.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the Azores, it's usually where you do that, and the Azores is another beast. It's big, and weather in the Azores is interesting.
And those are the islands that are directly west of Portugal, like
Exactly.
way out in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay. There are bases out there, like the areas to land, like the landing pads and
Air Force Base, and that the Portuguese Air Force Base has a U.S. Air Force detachment. So they have like a commander there that has support for whatever Air Force airplanes and people come through from the U.S. to Portugal.
Very cool. I don't think I knew that. I learned something new today, Ivo. Thank you. I appreciate
In
that.
They treat it as largest airfield, but it's Portuguese Air Force Base, number 4.
Dang. Wow, that's cool. That's very cool. There will be a map up. I'm not sure which side, but probably this side right here. Somewhere around here is going to be a map to show exactly where that is. All right. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
It's going to be good.
Yeah.
All right, Ivo. Next question. Ready?
Yep.
Do you remember your very first rescue?
Yes, I do. Yes, I do. Once I finished my rescue swimmer school, because we get trained on the EH-101, all rescue swimmer courses are done in my current squadron, which is 751 Squadron. And I got stationed in 552 Squadron. At the time, they had Alouette. So Alouette is a very ancient aircraft. It's awesome for piloting, but search and rescue wasn't quite the beast that EH-101 did. I think you could almost fit the Alouette inside the EH-101.
Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure of it.
Yeah, and it had, oh, trust me, it had some differences. It had a hoist that was up to 150 kilos. Yeah, a pneumatic hoist. Pneumatic, so air operated hoist made out of the air like my engine. Yeah, so most, yeah, and it's due to Portuguese legislation. It's cut to 5 nautical miles outside of shore. So my first rescue, I got called out for a lady that went missing, and shoreline rescue and search part, where in the shoreline, and you're trying to find someone because it's been more than 2 hours. So the kind of search I'm talking about, where you don't bet on the casino as hard, but you're doing your job as diligently as possible. And they had, and it was, yeah, and it was about 4-meter waves, and we're flying above, and some of the rescue services put a jet ski in the water. So that guy was on a jet ski in 4-meter waves. He was about 400 meters from the shore, trying to look a little more outside. And we're in a helicopter, we're searching, we have the best view in the world, penthouse, and we're looking at the waves, and like, we found the woman, it's going to be interesting. But as we seeing the guy in the jet ski, he's like, he shouldn't be there. And we're doing our little laps. You go up, you go north, you go south, you extend, you go a little further out, north, south. And as we're coming back on the beach, we see some people, waving on the beach. We're like, oh, and we're like, oh, they saw the woman. And when we saw that, I saw the jet skiing, like, oh shit, okay, it's not a woman anymore. Where's the guy? And
The guy on the jet ski.
yeah, the guy on the jet ski he was like a soccer professional, but he got washed out of his jet ski. So his jet ski was somewhere else, and we were looking, and I came out of the helicopter. We saw him. I started coming out of the helicopter, and dude, it was my first rescue. I went with the gray helmet. We had two helmets and our home flight helmet. I went with the really gray helmet. As I'm going down, it goes like the comms lead just pops out. You're like,
So you wear the wrong helmets down to your very first water rescue. Damn it.
yep. I got cheap when I got back to base. No, congratulations. Sorry.
Oh, that's great.
No, but I got down. As soon as I got down, I put the rescue strap on him, and like everything just turns dark. And then you're like, what the? I just do this. It was long enough to see like one wave going completely above us and just crash down. Dude, it's an Alouette. It's really small helicopter. Me and the guy went through the wave, just pulled
Oh
out.
my
As
gosh.
I'm coming out of the wave, all I see this helicopter just like ding, 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 ding. And we're still in the water. The wave was so strong that as I put the rescue strum, we go through the wave, and he's got his back turned to me, like, okay, turn back, check it, done. We're out of there. Because since the hoist was up to 150 kilos, they
Yeah.
have to use the lever. They have to actually pull the helicopter. So they pull it up, and we go to the beach. But my first rescue was to another sub professional. So it was more of a, okay, if it was the moment, we'd be ready since I wanted to have calm. But it's more of like, no, he's there. Let's go, let's go, let's go.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, it was an
Your
interesting one.
adrenaline must have been through the roof with that. Holy cow.
Oh yeah. And afterwards, it was more of a, okay, we did the whole jet ski. Now let's look for the lady again.
So did you just come out of the water and then short haul to the beach and
Yeah,
then get lowered down to the beach? And that was it.
yes,
And then they hoisted you back up to the helicopter?
yep. The for
Oh
the
my
Alouette,
gosh.
it's mostly for shoreline rescue. It was that the limitation on the hoist had that issue. It's
Wow.
an interesting limitation, and I'm not the how could I say, the lightest guy. I'm 6'2". I'm not as tall as you, of course.
We're close though. It's close.
I needed to eat my greens a little bit more when I grew up.
Oh, that's funny. Dude.
No,
You know what? Thinking about that, man, being in the water and just seeing the wave come at you. So 4 meters is 12 feet for those that all my Imperial friends. All right. That's a big wave and coming at you. And now you're holding on and then you're getting pummeled by the wave. And I can feel it in my bones right now. Like the hoist cable goes taut and then you're just along for the ride. Hey, thumbs up. You're just along for the ride as you're like getting drugged. Oh man.
in the debriefing, I laughed my butt off because I was hyped. It was my first rescue, and the pilot just goes like, "Yeah, it was your first rescue, but the hoist operator he was having fun. What do you mean?" They're like, you go like, "Oh, uh, the rescue swimmer is getting a wave, and as I told you, the helicopter, got a nice yank on it, and
Yeah.
and he goes like, oh yeah, the hoist operator is going like, yoo-hoo!
You
you
guys
know
are
what it
literally pulling the aircraft with the through with the wave. The wave is pulling you guys, which is pulling the aircraft. Are you freaking kidding me? Oh
you know
my
what
gosh!
he did his job perfectly. He knew what was coming. He told the pilot, okay, he's getting a wave, he's going to get dragged. And, he got such a angle, and like, woohoo! And you're like, awesome. Glad you have fun.
Bro, what the heck?
It's good.
Ivo, that's freaking hilarious. What a first rescue, man. Well done to you and your crew.
Yeah.
That's awesome, man. We're going to divert real quick to thank our sponsors.
Precision Aviation Group. Mission critical operators and fleet managers rely on Precision Aviation Group as a worldwide leading rotor and fixed wing MRO provider. PAG provides tip-to-tail solutions in 4 MRO segments: avionics, components, engines, and manufacturing DER services. A single point of contact gives you access to over 150 million in inventory, globally 24/7. Just call 800-537-2778. Precision Aviation Group. Others sell parts. We sell support.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, now I got to go to the next one. You've got me like hook, line, and sinker. Pulling through the waves. Let's go. So your next one you had like an overturned vessel.
Yeah. Overturned vessel. We got called out. We were told there might be 6 people in the water. And, the Navy, as an MRCC, is in charge of telling us coordinates. So as we came out, we got the coordinates, and we were like, okay, we're looking at it, but we see a spot in the water like fuel, but it doesn't look like the coordinates they gave us. So we're like, oh, we're investigating. And we're going southwards, and we're seeing a big spot, and it's funneling down, and we found the boat. And we're like, okay, we found the boat. And you saw all those debris, and afterwards, like 5 minutes in, we see 4 guys, huddling together. And as I'm, 4 guys, it's about a mile something from the water, from the shore, sorry. And we see the guys go, okay, we're gonna get the guys. As I've told you before, there's a restriction on 2 people getting hoisted together. Okay, keep that in mind.
Yeah. Okay.
So I go down, I swim over, and I get to the guys, and the 3 guys are propping one older gentleman up. They're just propping him up because he's gone. You can see he's severely hypothermic, and he's lost the plot. And as I go there, I'm putting on the what do you call it? I'm putting on the rescue stroke, and I'm thinking to myself, dude, I'm gonna kill this guy. If I try to, I can't put him alone to go to the helicopter. We had that, but he was hypothermic, and I'm like, he's gonna black out on the way, and I'm gonna see him falling down. This is not how it's supposed to go. So I'm going like, okay, I have to fly with him to shore. We have to do underslung up to shore, but then I'm going like, the rescue stroke gonna compress his thorax, and he's gonna black out. Like I'm going through that dilemma. The helicopter's, pulling me a bit towards the helicopter, and I'm just going like, this is not for this specific gentleman. This is not going as planned. I'm running out of options to correctly or medically leave him safe. And as I'm doing that, and they start to tug it. I start come out of the water, and as I come out of the water, some other guys in a life raft, not a life raft. What do you call it? A boat, a small boat, like a Zodiac. Yeah. Search and rescue Zodiac. They see us because they were already coming in from the south. They see us as they're coming in, and I'm like, oh, I'm not taking this gentleman anywhere. I get up a bit. I put my feet under his butt, and I call the Zodiac over, get back in the water, and they come over, and I help the gentleman in the boat. And like, I'd rather him get rescued by the Zodiac than propping him over. Oh, I get one more life saved. And you're like, yeah, but he's dead because it gets hydrostatic shock. So
Wow.
my person rescue, I elected to let's leave the gentleman the Zodiac. Thankfully,
that's super smart. Oh yeah, the one-on-one, you would have had them all up there before the boat even showed up. I'm just gonna throw that out there. I'm just saying.
Exactly.
You know what? That's super smart, dude. How did you communicate with the boat? Did you just wave them over, or did you have radio comms with them?
Just wave him over.
That's awesome.
But I remember in the debriefing, like, oh, you left a guy. Yeah, he wasn't in conditions to take him nowhere. I would have killed him. I wouldn't want that. But I still today think about that rescue. Like, what could I have done better? Every service has their own tools. Everybody has their limitations. You have like the EH101, but the EH101 is perfect for SAR. But if it's a life raft, it's going to overturn it. So you have to deal with your limitations. Either go high up or stay away from the life raft. So it gave me very much respect for not only the physical part, but the thinking part of it, the critical thinking part.
Wow, man, that's awesome. Question, which I should have asked you in the beginning, but do you guys stay connected to the hook at all times, or do you guys free swim when you get down to the water?
We are always connected to the hook, unless
cool.
ship, of course. But in the water, we're always connected. Part of it stems, every company or every organization has their risk appetite. Yep. So, especially if you're working 300 miles from shore, you want to make sure that if times come, like you yank it up. Yeah, I didn't rescue it. Yeah, tough buddy. We're going back.
Yeah.
That's
you're in the water. Don't leave me here, man. Don't leave me. Don't leave me, man.
Yeah,
I get it.
With less longer times on a hover or you like I said, deadline. You're like, we're going home, and it's policy.
Got it. All right. Cool. Again, it's there's so much debate and question about what the best way to do it is, and for me, I like both. So I like having the options for both.
Options.
Let me dictate what the option is to do the rescue versus not. But that's not this conversation today, Ivo.
It's very, very long conversation. Trust me.
It totally is.
I've had that conversation a few times. Still no decisions. Sometimes, and you still have a conversation. And even if I had the whatever opinion, you go back to your organization and they go like, "We do it this way," and you're like, "Yes, buddy."
Roger that. Sir, yes, sir.
Exactly. That's how it works, man.
Oh my gosh, dude, that's funny. Dang, man, that's awesome. What a good idea. Like just waving the boat over, get him in. Well done, sir. Well done to you and the crew. It's freaking awesome. I love giving the crew like props. You got to give the crew props. Like this is not a one-man show, and we know this.
I like to think, I like to think sometimes like the rescue swimmer is a drunk baby, because sometimes the parents are just like, yeah, because we're always going like, yeah, I want to go, I want to rescue people, and they go like, yeah, no. They save us sometimes from stuff. It's also part of the growing up. It's part of the growing up, which is learning to say no when as you get a critical thinker. And I think every rescue swimmer course is the same. You're teaching people to go like, you always go, you always save the victim, and then you go like, yeah, sometimes there's not the best conditions to it. And as you not necessarily get older, but as you get wiser, you start going like, okay, yeah, I could go there, but that's not gonna end up right. I'm gonna get hurt. Like, and you start thinking of other options, like how can we mitigate this so we you'll go further and still save that life.
Right, absolutely, and I will throw me me alone. I try not to throw other people in there in the mix. I like to just, that way it's not speculation, it's fact when I say, yes, this is how I feel. But I remember being that guy just out of swimmer school, put me in, I want to get in the water, I want to go down, I want to do this. And then the more I fly and the wiser I got in the aircraft, it was like, you could just send the basket down and get, I don't actually have to go. Like, or at one point I was flying with like a 5-man crew. So 2 pilots, hoist operator, rescue swimmer, and a paramedic. And they sent me down first, huge tanker ship. And I was like, dude, the dude just walked over to me. Like, come here, let me wrap you up, throw you in the screamer suit, and boom, we're gone. Like, you don't have to send 4 people down to come get them. I'll just do it now.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Yeah, we, for example, in my squadron, we have a different way of thinking. Due to our like long range missions, we do sometimes things towards a more pragmatic side. So unlike a lot of our brothers around the world, we go down with the rescue litter, like on our side to a ship. We'll go directly, and
That's right.
yeah,
I remember that.
yeah, because we've learned how to control the litter, and for example, I will have more control of how do I go down on my position with the litter than I do without the litter, because I have a big sail and I can use it. I'm rotating. I'm starting rotating this way. I expose the sail. I stop. I'm starting to rotate left, and I clear the sail and I go straight. And I'm doing that all the way down, and on the way up, like I said, we do it different because we want to get out of there as fast as possible so we can do that rescue. And we'll go down with the litter with no highline on the way up. So we learn how to control it. So it's interesting options. It's just an option that my service does it because we want to do long range missions and we want to save people. So it's about choosing the right risk, or whatever suits you both.
So you know what? Can we talk on this just a minute? Just for, this will be a short conversation, I promise. All right, we won't go off on a tangent with this one. I like that though, and one of the reasons I like it is because I like having options. Now, I'm not saying that I'm going to go down tomorrow with the litter, but you guys have it up and down. So the rescue litter, for those that don't know, is a large backboard with sides and rails, and then everybody's protected, right? And you guys have it going up and down. So the head is at your head, the feet is at your feet, and then you control it as you're going down. You guys did an example of that during the last Eurosa meeting in Portugal. The guy demonstrated that. It was great. In addition to that, you leave without having a tagline, trail line, guideline, whatever you want to call it, attach it, and you just hoist it out. If you get into a spin, you guys roll into forward flight, and you're good to go. Like, that's right. I want to make sure I say that right. Is that okay? Okay, cool. But
that's absolutely
yeah. So, but what I'm getting at here is, you guys have your training on that. You actually practice that maneuver. So when you're practicing a maneuver, you get good at a maneuver, and if it works, use it. That might not be the best way to do things out of an A-Star or a Dolphin, for that matter, for us U.S. Coast Guard guys, or the 865. Like, it might not be the best practice for that one, but it doesn't mean it doesn't work.
Yeah, it's everyone. Everyone should choose what works for them because, for example, some countries might have caveats where they go like, we can't have the rescuer and the victim on the hoist at the same time. You're like, okay, that's works. So you have to work around that. So they finish their rescues. So they go down, the litter goes down, the litter goes up with a tagline or a Y strap. Like that's fine. You just have to make sure that when you do that procedure, you do what's you mitigate the risks of that procedure specifically, and that works for you. That's awesome. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah. What is the end goal? The end goal is to get the person in distress out of distress. How you do it is up to you and your agency and your protocols and your technical training and everything else in between.
Exactly.
But there are other ways to do it, and everybody can try it. And I love having this conversation with people. I love it. So
the best thing to me is looking how people work differently, but more to the detail is like, why do you do that? And you go like, okay, why do you do that? I've learned so much of going like, okay, sometimes you hear like, oh, that's not right, and you're like, no, like let's hear why, because then you hear the why, and you're like, okay, now I got you.
Yeah,
and it's like makes perfect sense. Like I haven't seen anybody that's in the rescue business that is dumb. They just have different ways. No, I'm serious. Very, very smart people. It's more of a sometimes you don't have the right context, and because you're doing your own civilians or your own military SAR, and either your British your what kind of your initial training of your country was British based or French based, and that makes a difference later on. Either you have a quick release or you don't have a quick release or whatever.
Yeah, you're using this quick drop versus this quick drop. They're a little bit different in how they work. This litter versus this litter, they're a little bit different. This helicopter versus that helicopter, they're a little bit different. Yeah. Dang, man.
There's a lot of examples. For example, I know some countries, especially like Navy helicopters, have a litter that's almost 50 kilos. And you go like, why are you using litter that heavy? And they go like, okay, because our litter has the ability to be hooked and it can go vertical. Like, why do you want to go vertical? Oh, because we do rescue from submarines, and coming a victim from the bottom, they have to come vertical. Then at the top, they'll put it horizontal. Then they'll take it to the helicopter. And you're like, aha, okay, now I get you. So it's all about asking why.
Just ask why. And here's something else too that I have learned as well is that even when I ask why, I'll throw myself again right under the bus. Like I was very U.S. Coast Guard when I got out of the Coast Guard, but that was all I really knew, right? So then you start learning other things. And you're like, that's stupid, and then you start doing it. You're like, Coast Guard's really behind, and they need to catch up to this standard in practice. And I pick on them now a little bit, but one of them I can specifically say even now, the U.S. Coast Guard does not use wireless ICS for their rescue swimmers going out the door. I've used it for well over 10 years now. It is one of the greatest things ever to have your rescueman, your rescue swimmer, rescue man, winchman. What else are they called out there? None of us can get standard with this. So the dude on the hook, right? Have wireless comms. Your wireless intercommunication system, ICS system in the air is now on the guy on the hook or on the ground. It's amazing. It's a beautiful system. Catch up. If you're not using it now, start using it. So anyway. Okay, we should probably get off our soapbox now. Or my soapbox, all right? I'm just saying, Ivo. This is about you right now. What are we doing? Oh my gosh. Yeah, man. I like I said, I really like this conversation. It just technique, gear, how people do stuff, and why, and the why. Just ask the question: why do you do that? And if there is a better way, please show me. Please teach me, because I would rather learn the better way to do things. So, anyway.
Exactly.
Okay. Bring us into another story now, man. Bring us into another story, because we'll just keep going down that rabbit hole.
Okay. I can tell you about my first rescue in the EH-11.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay.
Basically, I stayed 5 years and a half in Alouette. I came back November 2015, and while I was doing that, while I was getting transferred over, I got back surgery. So I had a herniated disc. So I was 6 months of the job.
Oh my
So that
gosh,
was
how did that happen?
basically a lot of like unsolved like rescue lesions that led up to like a big lesion. Oh, that was the first of two in 2017. I got back surgery again.
Oh,
uh, but
dang, man.
6 months out, I'll come back in. One of I think it was like 2 or 3 months in. Uh, I'm on duty here on Montijo base, and I got called out for a small vessel that had 2 adults and 4 children, and my mind just went like, "Oh my god!" Like 2 adults and 4 children, and like, "Oh god, oh god, oh god, oh god!" Like, how am I gonna do this? Who am I gonna rescue first? Like, and like, what are the ages? Oh, we don't know. Like, okay, like, and I'm trying to figure out because at the time, we got them after. Now we have something called a child rescue valise, that you can put a like child in there, and it has like a viewpoint, but it's still one at a time. And I'm trying to go like, okay, how small of a vessel? All I'm like, children. Okay, so they should be small. Can I put the rescue stroke on it? Because I only have like the normal sized one. We're about 10 minutes to reach the boat. It was about 3 meter waves, middle of the night, so pitch black, and we get the word. Oh, um, the oldest is 21 and the youngest is 17. Oh, come on.
So you've got 4 adults. I got it. I got it.
But 3 meter waves. It was about a 10 meter vessel, and it was close to shore, so it was moving all over the place. And all I can think about me entering the ship, because I entered the ship 6 times, the vessel, and the name of the boat was the VL boat, Victor Lima boat. And as I'm coming in, I was in the Alouette for 5.5 years. I didn't do any night rescue. It was night qualified, so my first rescue, the boat's all over the place. It's not one of those big tankers or cruise ships that
Yeah.
I would rather have on my first rescue. So it was all over the place. All I can think of is like Spider-Man, because I'm trying to signal, but I'm still trying to get my bearings. But the hoist operator, he had a better idea of like the timings, and he just places me on a boat, and I look like a spider. And like, there are some pillows at the front. But okay, I get on top. I get the first one of the kids, get a hoist, a rescue strap on him. We go up. I go down again. You're like, you, and the lady just goes like, be careful, he's autistic. And like, crap. And now in my mind, I'm going like, oh, if he has an episode, because can you imagine EH101 above? It's night, it's 3 meter waves, everything's going all over the place, and I'm going like, oh, I did some volunteer work when I was in secondary school in an autistic institution, um, and I remember if you have an episode, it's gonna be crap, and they have an open door up there, and he's number 2 to go. So I'm going like,
Holy
oh,
cow.
hey, my name's Ivo. I'm gonna be with you the whole time. We're gonna do this, and I'm talking him the whole way through. I get the rescue strap in, we go up, I go in, I put him in the back of the helicopter. I get the first one, I sit him right next to him, get all the straps in, just making sure that like everything is tight around the waist, just making sure that he doesn't have any ideas of having an episode, and crack on to the 4 other people. When afterwards, I still remember the 6 times I went to the front of the ship that had like I said, a few pillows. I look like Spider-Man. Okay, now I can work. You do anything? You come back, you go up, go down, you go, okay, I'm here again.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. that was an interesting first rescue. And when it was debrief, man, like, hi, I'm Ivo. My horse operator said that for like 2 or 3 years. Hi, I'm Ivo, because one of the guys was sick, and I had to, make sure that he didn't have an episode on the way back. And he's like, "Hi, I'm Ivo." Like, oh, come on, man.
Oh, that's great. Dude, that's fantastic. I'm going to throw this out to you, man. You were probably, and I'm not taking away from anybody else that's in your squadron, but for that opportunity, or that in particular rescue, that was God calling you right there, man. He knew you being a volunteer had done that before. He knew. He's like, I need Ivo on this one. Boom. I'm going to throw that out there, man.
Yeah, I did 100 hours, and I don't know if there's something similar in the US, but then in the UK they call it the Duke of Edinburgh Award, which is something for the youth, and you have to do like hiking, camping. You have to learn a few techniques, and one of the things that you have to do is volunteer, and you can volunteer at a hospital, a firehouse, and I volunteered at the autistic institution next to my school, and I had to do 100 hours to get my I think it was bronze, and I was doing it some more, and you start to count your blessings, and you start to be thankful for how healthy you are and how healthy your family is once you help out people that weren't as lucky.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Dude, nice job. Nice job for the volunteering as well. Shout out for that one as well. Nice job, dude. That's good.
Yeah, well, you're a kid. You
what
have
I'm thinking of. Yeah, right. But what I'm thinking about is like that in particular rescue, you have experience with that, like that type of victim. And as you bring up, the first thing you said, you brought him to the back of the helicopter, strapped him in. Hey, dude, just chill here. I'll be right back. Like giving him the comfort, and you knew what to expect. You knew what was going through the mind, and adapt with it. Dude, I love that, man.
But it doesn't count for how scared I was when she said he's autistic. I'm like, oh.
Okay. I got this. Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I'm from the government. I'm here to.
We're not supposed to trust that line. Ivo, we're not supposed to trust that line. If you hear that, run! Oh my gosh, dude, that's so funny. Well, it seems to be that time because we've hit our bingo. We'll be relaunching for part 2 of this episode after we refuel. We'll see you soon. Go! Now, it's time for me to pull chocks and take off. But before I go, I'm always looking for the memorable rescues that people have done. If you have one that you're willing to share or know somebody who has a story, please feel free to reach out to me. I'd love to highlight it here at The Real Rescue. For everybody that is standing by for that SAR alarm, remember, those in distress are praying for a miracle. They are going to get you. So until next time, fly safe and swim hard. Thank you for joining me today here at the Real Rescue Podcast, powered by Vertical Helicast. We'd also like to say thank you to our sponsors for this episode.
Precision Aviation Group. Mission critical operators and fleet managers rely on Precision Aviation Group as a worldwide leading rotor and fixed wing MRO provider. PAG provides tip-to-tail solutions in 4 MRO segments: avionics, components, engines, and manufacturing DER services. A single point of contact gives you access to over 150 million in inventory, globally 24/7. Just call 800-537-2778. Precision Aviation Group. Others sell parts. We sell support. Thank you to our sponsor, Precision Aviation Group. Mission critical operators and fleet managers rely on Precision Aviation Group as a worldwide leading rotor and fixed wing MRO provider. PAG provides tip-to-tail solutions in 4 MRO segments: avionics, components, engines, and manufacturing DER services. A single point of contact gives you access to over 150 million in inventory globally 24/7. Just call 800-537-2778. Precision Aviation Group. Others sell parts. We sell support.
All right, Rotorblade. We gotta do some running on the beach today. We're gonna practice running. Ready? Let's go. Nice job, buddy. Come on, come on, come on. Good job, buddy. Yeah, Rotor. Good job, Rotor.